name is Ali. I want to talk about two campaigns that we have experienced. First of all, we were such a good team together. It was not only me, we were four, Atif, Ömer, Bertan, and me. It was such a good team, and we enjoyed those two campaigns a lot. We laughed a lot together, and we shared too many experiences together. It was an honor of us to work with these campaigns. I want to talk about digital media today, especially what is the emphasis of digital media in political campaign, and I think it changed the way of the political campaigns a lot, and how and what are those consequences. I want to talk about that.
Yüzyıllardır uygarlıkların doğup büyüdüğü bu topraklarda sen ne nesiller gördün aslında. Umudun, özgürlüğün ve geleceğin sembolü oldun en başta. Yeri geldi, ürün verdin. Gelecek için bir umut oldun bize. Yeri geldi, o ürünler keyif verdi seni seven herkese. Güvendik onurlu duruşuna. Yeri geldi, korudun bizi yapraklarının kokusuyla. Tüm zorluklara rağmen dimdik durdun ayakta, güçlü köklerinle. Hiçbir saldırıya karşı yılmadın. Gölgenle korudun herkesi. Taraf tutmadan, kim olduğuna bakmadan. Sadece senin varlığın bile değer kattı olduğun topraklara. Rüzgarın nereden estiğine bakmadan yol gösterdin serpilip büyüyen dallarına. İnsanlar filizlendi etrafında. Şimdi seninle yeni fikirler doğuyor. Daha güzel, daha umutlu yarınlara.
Okay, this was official announcement event's main video describing our logo, which was onion, and the meaning of that onion. And we had actually put a very strong correlation between onion tree and Mr. It was a joke. Sorry. Onion tree, yeah. So this was that video. I think it was the first moment that we emphasized that we are coming to this election campaign to be the number one. So it should be good, very good, and the very best. Mr. Ömer did this video, and I think he did a great job. Okay. When we start for the campaign, actually I'm going to talk about two different things actually, digital media and political campaign, and then combine together. Okay, so first about political science. Actually, I didn't study political science, and so our professional is digital marketing. So we were so focused on marketing. So we didn't know anything actually, not so much about politics. But what we did, we made a strong metaphor between marketing and the political campaigns. Actually, because it was like marketing, it was like buying a product. Because you have a vote, that means you have some resources. So you are going to pick one of those products, actually. So we made a strong correlation between the political campaign and regular marketing. So when we made this metaphor, then we were in the hometown, actually. So when we are talking about marketing, we need to talk about 4 Ps. Product, price, place, promotion. Okay? So first thing, if you don't have a good product, there is nothing meaning about what you are doing for promotion. The first and the most important thing is the product. So what we did, first of all, we started the campaign with this SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So, luckily, Mr. Akıncı had a very good background, very good experiences, and he had very good impression on the citizens. So the next thing is price. Price is vote. Okay, you are paying, you are giving your vote, and you are buying a benefit. What is the benefit? Is to have a new and better future. So we put our political campaign on this concept, making a good, better next generation and better future. Okay? And place is actually, in marketing concept, you need to be available to get the product. So when we map this thing into political campaigns, we see that this is being close to the citizens, voters. Okay? Promotion is regular promotion materials. So when we have a good product and when we understand the voters' benefits, not wants, just benefits. So then best is the communication. Actually, there is another 4 Ps for allied businesses. We can say that a political candidate, leader candidate, is an allied business as well. So when we talk about it, passion, purpose, personality, and positioning. So we focus on these 4 Ps as well. So, and what we understand is the personality. We have identified 3 main characters of Mr. Akıncı. He is skillful, he is honest, and he dedicated himself setting a piece on this island. So we emphasize on these 3 traits all the time. And I think people were about to fed up on these 3 characters of this Mr. Akıncı. Okay, so personality was the passion. He had the passion, and we demonstrated his passion. His passion was about peace and having a better future for these people living in this whole island, actually. And purpose, the purpose is to have a new bright future for people all around the island and peace. So peace was so strong, and the purpose was why he became a candidate itself. And positioning, we decided to position him as a new leader. So what we did, we have analyzed the leader characteristics. So in order to be a leader, after this analysis, we see that if you want to be a leader, you need to solve a critical problem. If you don't solve a critical problem, you cannot be a leader. Okay? So we have identified what are the critical problems in Cyprus, and I think you understand what he did solve, actually. Because at the first day of his presidency, he solved that problem immediately. Actually, it was just after the election. While he was talking about the thank you speech, the problem was solved. He said that nobody will ask anybody, where did you burn? I think this was solving a very important problem in our side, actually. So we made this analysis. So let's come back to the communication side. Normally, basic model of conventional politics communication, it was unidirectional because of the conventional media enables us that. Television, radio, newspaper, waving flags, meetings. We can assume that those were unidirectional because there is a sender, and there is a message to deliver, and there is a receiver. Voters are receiver, sender is the candidate, and we were. So when we are looking from that approach, in order to be a better one, you need to deliver more messages. You need to use more channels, and you need to pay more. When you deliver more messages, then you become more popular among the candidates. This was like this before digital media. What happened? what happened, what to the basic model of communication in the digital media? We have a sender, channel, receiver, and the feedback. Of course, there is always noise source, but since we have a feedback mechanism, so we can identify feedback. Feedback, in order to have a feedback in conventional methods, you need to make market researches, some analysis, quantitative analysis, qualitative analysis, so many things which are very financially expensive. So in digital media, these are much more simpler. If you have a feedback mechanism, which is actually the main advantage, the main benefit of the digital media is to have a two-way communication. You can send a message, you can receive a message, you can resend the message, you can get the message. Until we make sure, I do remember at the beginning stages of the campaign, until we make sure that our messages are being understood correctly, we spend so many times, so many meetings. Are they getting our messages so good or not? Feedback is valuable if, well, what do you think? Feedback is very valuable if you
use it.
Yes, if you listen it actually. If you listen. If you don't listen to feedback, then there is no meaning of the feedback. So we spend a lot of time to understand what's going on in the social media, how they are responding. For example, when we post a message on the Facebook page, we told our volunteers not to like. In order to see what are the reply from the normal, regular citizens, to see if our message has been accepted or not. Because our volunteers would like, whenever it sees on the post, they don't read, they just like. Okay? We don't want it. We have prohibited not to do this. They were waiting for 2 hours and then they like to see the real outcome of the post. So I think this was a good practice. In digital marketing, what are the advantages? Reach out to maximum people, targeted. We did use it, versatile. We change our Facebook commercials, Facebook ads. I think we change it the most. We keep changing it to see what are the main benefits. And I think we identified 3 main problems to solve during the campaigns. And we have identified which one to solve after analysis of this Facebook ads. And we see the feedback ratio, CTR, they say, called. And so we identified the number 1, and then we keep doing it. Immediate communication. We have opened WhatsApp and Viber channels, and our voters keep asking questions to us. And Mr. Akıncı himself was answering those questions himself. If you recognize him, he's so principles on that. He answers all the questions himself. He was answering the questions from 12 in the midnight to 2 in the midnight. 2 hours. He was answering the questions himself. So we were analyzing those 2 things. In the conventional, traditional media, you can reach limited audience. In whichever channel you use, you reach to limited audience. So what happens in this situation? If you are reaching those messages in the conventional time, then when you go to cafes in the villages, let's say cafe, all the people goes there, cafe. So they were not listening to the messages. So you could go to that cafe and say, hey, I listened to the president's election campaigns. Akıncı is the best. You could say this. But in the digital media, you cannot say that because all the people in the cafe sitting have mobile phones, and they are getting their messages as well. So you cannot have you cannot say that I have 60 votes, I have 40 votes, I have 30 votes. That's why political campaigns change, and the main reason that the oldest parties votes go down. That is the main reason actually, because everyone is getting those messages. So this enables us that ideas is more important than the money that you spend. So we change the slogan and say that ideas will bring the change. So we emphasize on the ideas, because when we don't have so much money, so we should make another perspective, another lane, so we could, and we set it into ideas, because when we talk about ideas, Akıncı was the number one. Okay, so we change it to the slogan, the ideas will bring change, and I think it will. We were not using digital media to promote, but we have been digitally organized as well. So since this is a selling campaign, marketing campaign actually, by using the metaphor, so we have, actually this is our business, but this is what we are doing. So we used whatever we used in our companies, we used it in the political campaigns as well. So we use Google Calendar in order to synchronize all the people, so we could have more people in the meetings, in the rallies and everything. We used CRM, customer relationship management tools, because it was like selling something, because when you reach a voter, it means a selling actually. So we use the project management things, Asanas, we use process management thing, Trello. So I think we were the number one who is producing the number of visuals. I think we were the biggest that we have. That's because of Trello actually, process management tool, Trello.com. You can go there. Facebook groups, each of the committees, we're having a Facebook groups, but each Facebook group has a handbook, rules and regulations, how to do it in Facebook group in order to increase the efficiency. We had a website. It was a very good website. Facebook advertise, Google AdWords, and since actually Mr. Akıncı's age is a little bit old, he was 67, so in the first analysis we see that we don't have enough voters from young generation. So we need to find a way to reach them. So we need to put some innovations. We need to, whatever we do, we need to make it perfect in order to get attraction of the young generation. I didn't have exit poll, but I think we are the number one or two when we are looking at the young generation at the end of the campaign. Because of what we did, what we create, the videos and everything, was according to the young generation. It was like playing the football. It was not an actually artistic movement, but it was instructional. And change from traditional media, the main topic of this speech actually, is from traditional media, we had billboards. So when we look at the digital media, we have Google AdWords. People fed up with our Google AdWords. We didn't pay that a lot actually, but we used it perfect. What happened, it is a nice memory for me. When we started for Google AdWords, after 2 weeks, people complained that we didn't see that AdWords in the websites while we are using internet. So I listened to them. I could say that, oh, we are reaching this number of people. You are wrong. I could easily say that because I am the digital marketing specialist, and people are saying that it's not good. I listened to them. I changed the campaign, and it just bloomed out. So I thank them to criticize me. Instead of rallying, because in the previous elections, each of the candidates was making 5 rallies. In this campaign, they only have 1. So rallies are anymore out of context. It's instead of rally, we have hashtag campaign. So we had a Zeytin Dalı hashtag, and we didn't do actually. Not one of our volunteers did. So when you see that hashtag, it means a rally actually. People are supporting Akıncı's campaign. Instead of campaign book, nobody reads it. So what we did actually, we just made it long, thick, and we made very good front cover and the back cover. That's all, because nobody will read it. We knew that, but we did it. So when they get the book, front cover and the back cover was perfect. When they opened, there were too many lines of text, which already includes in the website actually. It doesn't have any meaning anymore. Meetings, we didn't do much meetings. We just used Facebook chats. Waving flags was very distracting, disgusting way of campaigns actually before. People were grouping together in the street and they were on the roundabout. And instead of that waving flags, we were changing the profile photos here. So waving flags is out of context again. For example, Mr. Özersay never did. So, but he was nearly elected. Instead of, if we don't have the memories, we could create some digital videos. So we did digital videos. As you see, things are changed. But money is not enough, is not important anymore, ideas is important. And these channels are not, and these channels are valid. So this decreases the amount of money that you need to spend for the campaign. So everyone can elect it actually after this time. So if you have a bright new idea, solving critical problems, you can be elected. Either you have a good party support or you don't. You can be elected if you do it very good. Success, we assumed we were such a good team actually. Thanks to them again. We have concluded on this and we have success is total of the successes on the each. Whatever you do in the campaign, which element you do, it just sums up actually, and image is everything actually. So we need to be champion in each of the political campaign. And I think we made good, perfect teamwork. And I think we had so many problems actually, we had so many issues, but we decided not to give it up. Until the end of the last minute, we just keep together, we just keep focused, we believed ourselves, we were so focused, and success is the total of the successes on each. Yes. Because it's images, everything. Whenever you buy a product from the supermarket, you need to have an image, positive image about that product. So image is everything. We need to success in each of the political campaign. And this was our commercial videos. And I think in this video you can see a leader, new leader of the Turkish secret community. This was the last week's video.
Artık bir değişim istiyor. Bu değişimin zamanının geldiğine geçtiğine inanıyor. Bu konuda güven duyacağı bir lider arıyor. Bir tek şey bekliyordum. Halkın işaretini, halktan gelecek mesajı bekliyordum. Bir zeytin ağacı gibi kök salabilmesi için, bu ülkede tutunabilmemiz için, bu ülkede insan gibi onurlu, başı dik insanlar olarak ve toplum olarak yaşayalım arkadaşlar.
Luckily, with the help of other parties and other campaigns as well, we have got the 60% of the votes, and Mr. Akıncı is the new leader of the Turkish secret community, which we believe him, and he is demonstrating his leadership skills, and we are luckily and honorable working on this campaign. Thank you very much for listening.